sports on a Sunday morning. Very warm for that game this afternoon at City Park, high of 88 degrees. Tomorrow, increasing cloudiness, a high of 86. Tuesday is when we're looking at some possible storms. They could be severe, high around 80, so the temperatures will be dropping, and then 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Right now it is 76 in St. Peters, Florissant, and downtown. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Tyler Rosen's our producer today. What's up, Tyler? Tyler, you want to hear a great sound? Here's one. That's one of the great sounds. I wish it was a cold, frosty one. Actually, it's an energy drink. But today would be a good day to have a cold, frosty Budweiser. I'll tell you what, there is some, but I hope I didn't get this thing wet. There's some beer being put down today in St. Louis. You got Blues, Kraken at noon today. You have City and Austin at 3:45. Cardinals, of course, on KMOX at 3:10. Final round of the Masters will start just before that. I think 2:45, 2:35. Let me look and make sure I got that tee time right. Is when the leader, Scotty Scheffler, will tee off. He is leading the Masters right now. It is, it's fun. You know, this is a fun time of year. 1:35 Central Time is what I've got. So I was off there. 1:35. So here's your timeline. Sports on a Sunday morning, 10 to 12. Blues at noon. They play the Kraken. 1:35, Scheffler and Morikawa teeing off, final round of the Masters. 3:10, 2:15 pregame for Joe Pott, Cardinals and Diamondbacks. 3:45, Y98 FM, City and Austin. It's going to be a great day. Oh no, wait, I missed one. 2:00, Battlehawks at San Antonio. There's more, I'm sure, but that's the breakdown. This will be the last day of the year, actually, that all four pro teams will be playing at the same time. Cardinals, Battlehawks, Blues, City. So there you have it. It's going to be a great day here in St. Louis and beyond, and let's get things started. Let's go to Augusta, Georgia. KMOX's Dan Reardon is there.
It was a bit of a roller coaster ride for Scotty Scheffler Saturday at Augusta National. The 2022 winner got as low as 8 under, as high as 4 under, but an eagle and 2 birdies over the last 6 holes put him at -7 and 1 shot clear of the field. Colin Morikawa made the biggest leap on the leaderboard. His 3 under 69 put him a shot back and in today's final group. 6 different players held their share of the third-round lead, and 3 of them remain in the hunt. Max Homa strung 11 straight pars before a bogey dropped him to 5 under, 2 back. Ludwig Aubert, playing in his first major, is 3 back with a third-round 70, and Bryson DeChambeau birdied the 18th to close at 3 under. Tiger Woods continues to fill up the wrong side of his record book. His 10 over 82 erased his high score ever in the Masters by 4 shots. Covering the Masters, Dan Reardon for KMOX Radio Sports.
Dan, thank you. Let's go from Augusta to the desert, and in Phoenix, Arizona, it's John Rooney.
The Arizona Diamondbacks last night at Chase Field took a 1-0 lead in the first inning as Ketel Marte got a double off Kyle Gibson and later scored on a sacrifice fly by Jock Peterson. The Cardinals tied the game on a Jordan Walker hustling triple to left in the 5th inning, followed by his friend Mason Wynn delivering a single to left field. The Cardinals had 2nd and 3rd and nobody out in the 6th inning, but they could not score. With a fielder's choice ground ball and Goldschmidt out between 3rd and home, they had runners at 2nd and 3rd, and Contreras hit a fly ball too shallow to right to score the go-ahead run. Newbar was given a walk, and then Jordan Walker struck out. But in the bottom of the inning, this happened. On 2-1, Gurriel hits it hard to left field. That ball is going to go for a home run. He lined it out of here to left field. A 3-run shot, and it's 4-1 in favor of the Diamondbacks. And on the Gurriel home run, the final Arizona 4, the Cardinals 2. The rubber game today on the air at 2:15. I'm John Rooney.
Thanks, John. And at 10:15, in just about 5 minutes, we're going to hear from Ollie Marmol. He will join us live on the show. 11:30, John Mozeliak, the Cardinals president of baseball operations. Here is Kyle Gibson from Bally Sports Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously he worked out of some trouble in the first and had quite a few clean innings there in the middle. And then, I mean, I'd say obviously I like one pitch back, but man, I look back at it, I really can't set it in a better place. Trying to get a double play there, keep a ball on the ground, and executed a ball down and into a guy that I've thrown that pitch to him a decent amount of times in my career, and it hasn't ended up like that. So he put a really good swing on it. Only he can tell you his approach right there. But unfortunately, sometimes you got to tip your cap and say that he got you. But felt really good, had good stuff. But it's unfortunate to give up the long ball there in that spot.
Yeah, it's a good answer there from Kyle Gibson, and he did. I mean, Gurriel went down, and he got a low fastball, and he golfed it, although it was a line drive. It was like one of my tee shots. I hit him low. Tee shot left, although mine tend to curve right. Anyway, that one, I like to start it left, and I call that a cut. I start it way left, and then it comes back over the fairway. But that was a home run that went out on a low fastball line drive home run. What are you going to do? What you should do is score more runs, and that's part of the Cardinals' problem. They erupted for 9 runs the day before, but 2 runs against the Diamondbacks. Now they're going to have their hands full against Zach Gallen, so we'll see how they do. We're going to talk to Ollie about it in just a few minutes, and let me set up the rest of the show for you. 10:30, Dan Reardon will join us from Augusta for one of 2 visits. We have a lot to talk about. Sunday at the Masters deserves not 1 but 2 visits from Dan Reardon, so he'll catch us at 11:45 to wrap up the show. In between there, Bernie Federko, the Hall of Famer, is going to join us on his way to the arena, or he may be inside the arena by the time we talk to him at 10:40. We will catch up with him. We'll hear a little bit about the St. Louis Billikens and the transfer portal, a visit that Bob Ramsey and I had with Josh Schertz on that topic at Humphreys. That'll be wrapping up this 10 o'clock hour, and we'll preview the Battlehawks as well. 11:15, Lutz Pfannenstiel of City joins us on a game day live from City Park as his team gets ready to play at 3:45 against Austin. Then at 11:30, John Mozeliak for his weekly visit with us about a variety of topics. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. We're sponsored by Gray Bar, and we'll come back with Oliver Marmol, the manager of the Cardinals, right after this.
2 ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 1120 AM further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Baseball is back, basketball is heating up, and the NFL Draft is right around the corner. Listen to the latest on the teams you love with the free Odyssey app. The biggest sports radio stations in the country, providing unrivaled local coverage of their teams, all in one place. Exclusive interviews with players, coaches, and team executives, streaming live and always available on demand. Stay in the know with your favorite teams with Odyssey. AUDACY. Download the free Odyssey app today.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. This may be your last chance to get the new carefree villa home of your dreams at the Preserve in Afton. Our homes offer a lifestyle of convenience and relaxation without the burdens of lawn, landscaping, and snow removal. The Preserve is conveniently located at Watson and Mackenzie Road with sales prices starting in the 480s. We will build to order or select from one of our 7 move-in ready homes at substantial savings and special financing in the 4s. Hurry, these deals won't last. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louisans for over 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org, or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Her words weren't written under peaceful shade, but under fear for her life.
I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains.
The words of Anne Frank continue to fill us with hope. Hope. Pass it on from passiton.com.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-514-1026. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-514-1026 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-514-1026 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-514-1026.
Now the Manager's Chat, presented by Siteman Cancer Center. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer care.
And joining us is the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. Oliver Marmol joins us from Phoenix, Arizona, where the Cardinals have a 3-10 game today and go for a series win. Good morning, Ollie. Thanks for being with us.
Morning. How we doing?
Doing well. 4-2 loss yesterday to the Diamondbacks. I know there were some frustrations in there. We just heard from Kyle Gibson, the audio from Bally Sports Midwest last night about the pitch that he threw. He said, hey, I've thrown that pitch to him multiple times. And he said, hats off to him. I mean, give him credit. He got it. He lined that thing out of there over the wall, Ollie.
Yeah, he took a good swing. Good pitch. Gurriel got him. But overall, he pitched a pretty good game, man. His mix was good. Did a nice job of getting us deep into that game and giving us a shot. At the end of the day, he made a pitch, and Gurriel, found barrel, and it went a long ways.
Yeah, it did. It went a long way. Was there I was reading about, now I'm not there with you, so I wasn't able to ask these questions and talk about it in the clubhouse, but I understand that there was a pitch communication issue right before that. Is that true?
I'm not sure how much to make of that, to be quite honest with you.
Gotcha.
I understand what was written, but not really.
Okay. All right. I just want to be sure. So, it's a down and in fastball. The guy golfs it out of there. I think that, for the most part, your starting staff has done what you've wanted them to do. I know that they're giving up runs. But for Kyle last game to give up 6 in the first inning and not get run out of there after innings 2 or 3 and go 6 has to count for something here. Obviously, you want more, but you're getting what you need out of your starters.
Really am. The difference is last year going and getting that guy in the second or third inning, and you're using all of your bullpen to get through it. You're somewhat compromised the next day because certain guys aren't available. For him to give up 6 his last out and still get us through that game where we only have to use a couple guys to finish is huge, because it sets you up for the next day to be able to get a win. And our starters have done a good job. It was pretty sloppy out there. Lance's game, he went out there and battled and gave us everything he had. Matt's is throwing the ball well. Gibby's throwing the ball well. Sonny looked good. Overall, it's been really good. It'll be good to see Miles out there today. but our pitching has done their job. And I feel like our offense is starting to come together, and guys are starting to swing the bat. Yesterday, we created a ton of opportunities, just didn't cash in on a couple of them, and that game could quickly change. Early on in the year, I didn't feel like we were creating enough opportunities to give ourselves a shot, but that's starting to look different as well.
Yeah, you out hit them 11-6, and to your point, you just weren't able to cash in. You had facing a pitcher who actually had some pretty good stuff going, I thought, in Nelson. But you were right there. Just some base running issues really that hurt. I guess the biggest one, just for listeners who might not have been able to catch it, it was the sixth innings. You had runners at second and third, nobody out, and then Goldie gets caught in that rundown between third and home. What did you see there?
It's actually that's not bad a play.
Okay.
You end up with second and third with one out. It's the same exact situation.
Yeah.
So it's not like you traded anything off. If it's hit hard to the third baseman, you stay put because there's a play at third. If it's hit soft and you feel like you can make it and you get a good jump, then you make a play on. Yeah, he felt like it was hit softer than it was, and he took the shot. He did a really good job of standing the run down long enough for Nato to advance to second. So you still have the same situation, second and third, one out. So that play in itself isn't that bad.
Okay, gotcha. Were there was there a base running mistake that stuck with you? I mean, I'm sure you're moving on today, but base running overall?
Sure. I mean, you have the line drive to right, which is also a tough one because you're on contact with Gorman, and he hits that short liner to right, which you want to be able to tag up on, and that's a run. And then the line drive double play to win is also one where we could have been more careful there. So those two cost you. But at the end of the day, I mean, you have opportunities to drive in runs, and we didn't do that yesterday. But overall, we created a ton of opportunities, and we're in every game. I mean, you look at the box score and our guys, even when our offense isn't feeling great, we're in every game, and we're a shot away. So we feel good about that.
I appreciate that, and thanks for your take on those as always. I always like to hear what you have to say about it. Goldie did have a couple of hits yesterday, so to your point, he's starting to come around. He is one of your, if not your best base runner. Contreras had a couple of hits. Arenado, boy, he launched one on Friday. I mean, that had to feel good. He's starting to come around, it looks like, doesn't it? I mean, those are your three big hitters in your lineup that you need.
Yeah, and they're starting to come around and feel better about their swings, which is important. And the bottom of our lineup has carried us and done a nice job of creating opportunities. And those guys, that Nato swing, the homer, those are the type of swings that get him going. And once he starts to feel it, his swings are aggressive, and he starts to drive the baseball. Yesterday, we saw a little bit more of that. Contreras is feeling good. Goldie's starting to get there as well. Gorman is starting to kind of drive the baseball and get his knocks. So those guys get going, and you keep our pitching where it's at, and it should be some pretty good baseball.
Yeah. How about Nootbaar? He says, I see your home run. Watch this. And he
it's so much fun having him back, man. This is a guy that, yes, swings the bat extremely well, gives you a tough at bat, plays good defense, but brings just a good energy to the club. He's always smiling, having a good time. He's competing, and having him healthy and back in our lineup is awesome.
Your young guys, if you could evaluate them, I mean, Nolan Gorman, we know, has hit some home runs. He does certainly right now have that potential. He has a .214 batting average. It's early, but you've put him in that number 3 spot in the order. And then if you would, well, let's start with Gorman, actually. Gorman, he's got that tremendous power, and he did have a double yesterday. What are you seeing out of him?
Yeah, starting to take better swings. Beginning of the year, felt a couple clicks off and was swinging through the baseball a lot. I mean, the punch outs were high, and he's working on addressing that. We've seen him go through that before, but he's starting to feel much better about where he's at, and he's taking good swings, starting to drive the baseball a little more. So, and at second base, and he's playing a really good second base. I mean, I don't think we talk about that enough. This guy has been really detailed and diligent about his defensive work, and we're starting to see a really good second baseman.
Yeah, he really is. And then your young guys, Walker, boy, he continues to make great plays in the outfield. I mean, he goes and gets one in right center not long ago. Mason Wynn, we know he can make plays. He was 2 for 4, guys hitting 349. And Victor Scott, who we know has the ability to be great in the outfield. And has he turned the page on a game that I know he wanted to turn the page on?
Yeah, I think people make too much of one game. The kid made a mistake, and he's fine. You look at Walker, he's the type of offseason he had in order to give himself the best shot to play better defense, and he worked really hard. And we're seeing that he's making plays out there that last year he just wouldn't make, and that's to his credit because there's a lot of work put in there. He's continuing to work on just getting the ball off the ground and being able to drive the baseball. Mason Wynn's doing a phenomenal job on both sides of the ball. He's playing really good defense. I mean, this kid's making plays that just everyday shortstops do not make, and he's finishing double plays that are very difficult. He's doing an incredible job. And offensively, he's not trying to do too much. He's using the whole field, taking his base hits to right. He's come up with some big hits, and he's competing well. And then when you talk about Victor, playing good defense, and he's working underneath the baseball a little bit right now. So a lot of balls in the air, and with his speed, you want him missing a little lower, and that's something he's working on and addressing with Turner and BA and the rest of the offensive group. And I think he'll make the adjustment to be able to do that and utilize his speed. But if we can get him out of the air a little more, that'd probably be helpful.
Yeah, you have some defense, that's for sure. I mean, Siani, he can play out there. Donovan obviously can if you need him, and even Burley's been made some really nice plays. He's shown a little extra jump and shown that ability. People ask, what do the Cardinals need? They ask me, what is keeping them from getting off to a big start here? And I keep saying they need to get healthy. But then I look at it. I mean, the lineup actually looks pretty good. The rotation looks pretty good. Sonny Gray's back. I think maybe the big thing is your bullpen getting healthy would really benefit you. I mean, Middleton and O'Brien, those are two pitchers you could use, couldn't you?
Absolutely. Those two guys really help get you to the Kittredge and JoJo and Helsley's on any given day. And when we have those two guys back, there's going to be certain games where it allows you to have some comeback wins where you're down 2 runs and they can just keep it there and allow the offense to get to work and get back in that game and take the lead. But having Middleton and Riley back are going to be a big part of our bullpen. And those guys start the throwing program here on Monday. So we're getting closer, which is helpful.
That's good. We're going to be joined by John Mozeliak at 11:30, so we'll run through some other roster stuff with him. I'm not going to burden you with too much of that, but just a last thing. I mean, just to get a win in Arizona, to get a series win, then you go to Oakland. Overall, your club right now, just taking it day by day. I mean, I hear it in your voice that you like this team, and compared to last year's start, which I know was tough, you have some really bright feelings about this team, I can tell.
Oh, heck, it's not even close.
Yeah.
These guys compete. They're getting after it. They're doing a really nice job. Our schedule is what it is in April. There's a lot of travel back and forth from St. Louis to the Arizona, LA, San Diego. Now we're back here for Arizona, Oakland. So getting some of these trips out of the way early is great. Our guys are embracing that part of our schedule. We're playing some tough teams, or we're playing good baseball.
Yeah, good point. I appreciate the visit very much. Good luck today. We'll be listening at 3:10.
Appreciate you.
Ollie Marmol, Cardinals manager, with us on KMOX. We're going to go back to Augusta, Georgia. Dan Reardon is standing by for an update from the Masters. It is Sunday at the Masters, one of the greatest days on the sports calendar. When we come back, Sports on a Sunday Morning, I'm Tom Ackerman. We are sponsored by Gray Bar.
At NeoVitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new NeoVitin Omega-3 supplement. NeoVitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get NeoVitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a NeoVitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
Diamonds Direct Spring Sale is here. Shop now and get an extra 20% off Diamonds Direct's renowned prices. It's the best sale of the season. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. That's 20% off plus $100 off store-wide. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, engagement rings, and more. And enjoy an expanded selection with designer appearances each weekend. 20% off now to April 21st and open Sundays. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
KMOX Weekend at your service, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you don't need the biggest law firm. You need the best. Onder Law, voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis, is the insurance company playing games, trying to deny the medical treatment you need, refusing to pay your lost wages. Let Onder Law fight for the benefits you deserve. Injured on the job? Call Onder Law for free. 314 or 618-9-million. That's 314 or 618-9, all zeros.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty. So we grabbed the keys and we ate it in the van. That's what my friend said, call Cherry Kelly, man, CherryKelly.com. Give him a call even though it's late, CherryKelly.com. Cause Jerry Kelly's always open up until 8. They're certified technicians, I've been told. Will help you when it's hot and help you when it's cold. CherryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. CherryKelly.com.
This is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy property in as-is condition. Are you wanting to sell your property, but you don't want to deal with the stress? Many times people sell to us because they want to be a less stressed seller and they want to simplify their solution. We can provide a flexible closing date on your sale, and we can make it easy to sell your property. We can guarantee we'll give you our best offer possible to make a win-win situation. If you have a house you want to sell, simplify your sale, KLAMEN Group.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Our $79 garage door tune-up extended through April. Is your garage door old and whining for attention? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis will make it all better. They'll perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79, extended through April. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Schedule now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Back on the show, 10:33. Let's go to Augusta National. KMOX senior golf editor Dan Reardon joining us. How are you, Dan?
Oh, I couldn't be better, Tom. This has been, I think, in the last 3 or 4 years, the best combination of Saturday, Sunday weather. And the club has exactly the golf course they want for the first time in that period of time.
That's a beautiful thing. I know that. So here you are getting ready for Sunday at the Masters. They're already underway. Let's talk about, before we get to the leaders who tee off at 1:35 Central Time, just a quick discussion, if you would, on Tiger Woods, who is on the course. He may be wrapping up. No, he's out there still. Wearing his Sunday red, but, dealing with a lot on Saturday and shooting at 82. What did you think of the 48-year-old overall over the last 3+ days?
I thought the first couple of days he chipped and he putted well, but I know I probably upset people in my early Thursday morning report when I said, is this the last Masters where people talk about him as being a factor? And I think that question has been answered. He just made the turn with a 4 over 39, had a triple bogey on number 5. He's putting up numbers that are just so alien to who he has been as a player. And it's not his ability to hit the ball. I mean, he hits big drives. He hits crisp iron shots. Max Homa played with him the first 2 days and said his iron play was just remarkable to see going out. What he can't do is he can't play golf. It's not walking. It's not standing. It's not swinging the club. he just doesn't have enough opportunities to be in competition on a golf course to do what you need to be sharp. And maybe if he wanted to do that at age 48, but I don't know why, he could try to do that. But he would have to do that in the weeks and the months between the tournaments in which he plays.
Well, that's a good answer. Jordan Spieth, another one I wanted you to comment on, who missed the cut. I was listening on radio, actually, when he had that quadruple bogey. Just a little out of character for him.
And the word is that Jordan's a little lost in the lofted clubs, that he's struggling in that part of his bag. And Jordan has always been a guy that's experimented. I think it's telling, though. Whenever he's come to Augusta, he's always gotten well. And this is the first year in a number of years, I think, where he's come here and done just the opposite. Last year he played with Mickelson in that group where Mickelson finished second, and Jordan made a run up the board as well. He's got a month until the PGA, which is where he wants to be on form and try to complete the career slam. But as I said, the word is that he's a little lost in the lofted clubs in his bag, and that showed at 15 when he played it into the water twice.
Brooks Koepka out there right now, 7 over for the championship. Your read on Brooks?
Last year was a good year. Brooks is another guy that if you really look at his record, he'll be in the Hall of Fame because he wins majors, but he doesn't win a lot. I mean, I think he's got 9 career wins if you discount LIV and Europe and those kinds of things. So for him not to perform this week is surprising, I suppose, because he's played so well in the majors. But and there has to be some question out there about, do the guys playing on the LIV tour, do they have enough competition on a week-by-week basis, and do they have enough desire on a week-by-week basis to be the same as the guys playing on the PGA Tour? They're not playing for a living. These guys are still playing for a living, even though it's a very good living.
Amen to that. I 100% agree. Well, just for me as a consumer, when I watch Live, which I don't, but if I did, I would say, what am I watching? I mean, they've already won. So if I'm not invested, how the heck are the athletes going to be invested? One more thing, and I know we're going to talk to you at 11:45 more in depth about this, but your leader, Scotty Scheffler, can he finish the deal with a great iron player and Colin Morikawa chasing him down? Not to mention Homa, Oberg. I mean, it's quite the field. Bryson DeChambeau as well.
Yeah, in fact, I would say if you want to look for a little lightning, look for it out of that third group out, DeChambeau and Schauffele. They could bring a little activity early on the golf course. As far as the final pair is concerned, Scheffler has had 24 holes out of the 54 he's played where he's had one putter better. So he hasn't played nearly as well as he has scored. And I think today, this golf course, as I said, is really exactly the golf course they want. He has to be a lot sharper. He's missed a lot of fairways, hasn't hit a lot of greens. And by contrast, Morikawa has played 8 through 16, that stretch of holes. He's had one bogey, and he played that stretch 6 under par. Scotty is 6 under on the par 5s. So you have a pretty good contrast in the two players in the final group.
It's going to be interesting for sure. Dan Reardon with us from Augusta. We're going to join you again at 11:45 as we give people who are out and about an opportunity to hear you a couple of times. And we'll focus on that leaderboard and what's to come for the 1:35 tee time for the final pairing of Scheffler and Morikawa. Dan, for now, we say thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Enjoyed it, Tom.
Dan Reardon reporting from the Masters in Augusta. We'll talk to him next hour. We'll take a break, and coming up at noon, the Blues are facing off against the Seattle Kraken. Their playoff window closed over the weekend, but nevertheless, we're going to chat with Hall of Famer Bernie Federko about the team and more. That's next. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX continues right after this, sponsored by Gray Bar.
If you're thinking about doing a little home improvement, especially one that you don't have to do the installation, think about getting a Beam central vacuum system. It's the kind of home upgrade that really checks all the boxes. Because when you compare and evaluate, a Beam system makes so much sense. There's a reason why nearly every high-end home in St. Louis is built with a Beam. A Beam vacuum system is very smart because it adds value to your home. Beam whole house vacuum system starts at just $11.99, including installation. And it's an investment, not just in your home, but in a healthy lifestyle. Every time you vacuum, you'll save time because a Beam is more efficient and 5 times stronger, so you'll clean better in less time. And since you're getting all the deep down dirt and grit, vacuuming with a Beam will keep your rugs and carpets looking brand new for many years to come. So you get value from your Beam system every day. Call Beam of St. Louis today. 314-567-1515 or online at beamstl.com.
Beam's home sale is starting early. Every system for every size home now on sale.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Barry. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com.
It's perfectly normal to buy new things.
In fact, it's fun.
And that's how we accumulate old, worn-out things.
Not fun.
Clutter and junk collect in corners and piles.
In attics and basements.
In closets and sheds.
And in garages.
Boy, does junk gather in garages.
The average garage is a convention center for junk.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
You're going to get a brand new garage.
You're going to get a bunch of new closets.
You're going to get a new shed.
You're going to find space you didn't know you had.
Best of all, you're going to get fresh air freedom.
All you have to do is point.
You're about to have a big home.
A happy home.
Where you can fill your lungs with fresh air.
Freedom. What you need is freedom.
You're going to laugh and smile.
You're going to dance and sing.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Game day in St. Louis, 3:10. We will go to Arizona for the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks. 3:45, City against Austin on Y98 FM. The Battlehawks play today at 2. You got the Blues about to face off at noon at Enterprise Center. Bernie Federko, Hall of Famer, as we get a hold of him. Let's turn our attention to basketball. This is a busy weekend for Josh Schertz as he is getting everything in order to attack this transfer portal and get some players in here. Gibson Jimerson has already given his commitment to SLU. He'll be back for a 6th year. He had lunch with Schertz, liked what he heard, visited with him a couple of times, and said, I am back. And the all-time three-point shooter at SLU is going to be back, maybe to chase down some other milestones. But the portal is very important to this coach, Josh Schertz, this program, St. Louis University. These fans, they are hungry to get this team back to the top of the Atlantic 10. I talked about it with Schertz and the voice of the Billikens, Bob Ramsey.
Like the portal. Are all of you looking at the portal every day? Is somebody designated? You're the portal guy. How are you doing it?
No, it's collaborative. We're all working together. We meet, right now we're meeting a couple hours every day, usually in the morning or the afternoon, late in the evenings. We're doling out calls. They're getting me on who I need to call. We got spreadsheets and where we are, and, you're balancing roster, you're balancing NIL collective. So how much money do we have? How much are we going to spend? How much is it going to cost? Visits, we walked in, originally, we had probably 11 scholarships because Larry Hughes and Kellen Thames were like, no, we're in.
That's exciting.
That was the starting
That's
point.
great.
Yeah. And so, those two, we had to get 11 players plus schedule 12 games. We only have one game scheduled. So we have a lot of work to do in terms of we're balancing a lot of things at once. But, we've got a bunch of visits lined up. I think Billiken fans will get some good news tomorrow as it relates to one of the players that we want to bring a third player back. And I think we got a good chance to do that. Won't steal any thunder there. But
okay.
And then we've got 10 more guys to go get. So we're hard at work at that. We've got, I think, 7 or 8 visits lined up over the next 12 days. And, it's going to be running starting tomorrow. We got, full speed ahead starting tomorrow. And it's going to be, these guys are always on the phone right now, walking around and trying to, they are. And we'll leave here and go back and grind this till late tonight. And, when we got Zooms and everything else, and we're just, we're plugging away at making sure we put together a championship caliber roster. The good thing about this era is that, we don't have to rebuild. We can go out and create a roster that has, like even last year, if you look at our team last year, we only had 4 returners. We had 9 new scholarship guys on last year's team.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we had 6 COVID seniors, guys that had finished all eligibility. And then we had 3 guys that didn't play much who transferred. So we only had 4 returners. Now they were Avila, Larry, Kent, and Bledson, but those were only 4. Everybody else was brand new. So, it's not like it's our first rodeo doing this. We just got to get in and get to work and make sure we get the right pieces. I love what we've been able to do here in terms of the guys we came in and identified that fit how we wanted to play, fit our culture. I think we're going to go 3 for 3 there. And then it's making sure we stay true to what we want to do with these last 10, mix in some high school guys, make sure we get some high-level guys. And the goal is to have the talent and character necessary to compete for a championship next year. And we got a lot of work to do, but that's the plan.
That is Josh Schertz, the head coach of the Billikens, visiting with me, and Bob Ramsey, the voice of the Billikens at Humphreys. Some good stuff in there, including a load of players that are going to be available from Indiana State. Of course, he can't comment on that until this ball starts rolling here, so to speak. But that starting lineup of Julian Larry, Isaiah Swope, Ryan Conwell, Jason Kent, Robbie Avila is sensational. The only one in that group I think maybe could be tough to get is Conwell. There are some big programs after him. They love his ability, but could he get his style of basketball not only to SLU, but with the players who executed it at Indiana State? That would be remarkable stuff. A lot going on with Coach Josh Schertz at SLU. Let's shift our attention to hockey. Hall of Famer Bernie Federko is on the line. Oh my gosh, is it good to have your voice back on KMOX's Sports on a Sunday morning. How are you, Bernie? How you doing? Sorry about that. How you doing, Bernie?
I'm doing great, Tom. How about you?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. I love talking hockey with you. It's a bummer that the playoff window has closed on this team, though. I know that they took it down to the last weekend, but it just wasn't to be.
Yeah, it's one of those things, Tom. I mean, they played very well, and I think the compete level really came up over the course of the last 2 or 3 weeks. And for a team that kind of has been mediocre all season long, I think that they should be very proud of the way they handled themselves the last couple of weeks and gave themselves a chance. Just unfortunately, too many losses early in the season, I think, really hurt them down the stretch now.
I hear you. Absolutely. I was asked this question earlier this morning on the air, so I'll ask you, what do you think is the biggest thing they need to do this offseason to get themselves in a better position next year?
Well, I think they have to do everything. I mean, as far as they're getting younger now, which is, if you get younger, you get faster, you get stronger. And I think you got to be obviously stronger defensively. And they prove that they can score goals. I mean, the core of this team, and 5 guys with more than 25 goals, so they can score goals. So I think it's more defending than anything else. And it'd be nice to find a defenseman. I guess everybody wants a Cale Makar or a Quinn Hughes. You're not many of them available, but hopefully the Blues can find a real good defenseman that can play 25 or 30 minutes a night and kind of be that go-to defenseman. But I think that's like everything else. I mean, the goaltending has been spectacular all season long. So I think it's just a matter of building off of what happened down the stretch here, and hopefully just getting a little bit better each and every year. There's got a lot of good prospects that are going to be in the not too distant future.
No doubt about it. I think of all the bright spots from this team this year, one of the brightest has to be Jake Neighbors. I mean, what a season he had. How did you view the young forward?
Yeah, Tom, he really, really is coming to his own. I think that we really didn't know exactly what he was all about. I mean, he was a first-round draft pick, but a late first-round pick. So he comes in, you don't really know what you should expect out of him. Last year was so-so, and I think he came in with a great attitude this year. I think that he spent a lot of time with Braden Shen living at his house last year, and I think that really helped him a lot, just that leadership role that Braden has taken with him, the big brother that he's been to him, and I think he's really got the opportunity to be a net front presence guy, a guy that's not afraid to play hard and gritty and go to the front of the net, kind of the way Braden Shen does. So he's really coming to his own. I think he's figured it out. I mean, for a kid that's only 21 or 22 years old, I mean, here's a kid that really knows the game, the way he talks, I mean, the way he handles himself. You think that he's been around the league 5 or 6 or 10 years. So I've been nothing but impressed with Jake, and it's a shame that he ended up with a concussion, and he's probably going to be shut down the rest of the season. But I think his future looks very, very bright.
Hall of Famer Bernie Federko is with us. I think some credit to Drew Bannister for guiding that young man along. But as you said, Jake has that wise beyond his years feel to him. What did you think of Bannister's year as interim coach taking over for Craig Berube?
I think Drew's been very, very solid. I mean, he came in with the fact that he needed to get this team to play better defense. You need to get this team to get better special teams. And those are the two things that they did. I mean, their compete level came up. I think you always see that with the coaching change, but I've got nothing but great marks for Drew. I mean, what he did, I mean, especially with the power play, getting things turned around. I mean, I think the good news was Drew had a lot of these kids that came up from the minors. Drew is coached in Springfield, so he knew them well, knew what their responsibilities could be and what their best qualities were, and I think he's put it all together. So I can't say enough about him, and he got as much as he could out of this team, and so it's a shame that they just couldn't got a little bit more.
Couple of things left for Bernie Federko. You do such a great job, Bernie. I mean, to have you welcomed into my living room, I just love watching you between periods, breaking games down. You have such a good group of people to work with behind the scenes, not to mention Scott Warman and Alexa Dat on Bally Sports Midwest. What has it been like for you? I know that one of the skills that you have is to break hockey down into terms that everybody can understand, especially in a trying season like this where fans did have a lot of questions.
Well, thanks, Tom, for your compliments. It's always nice to hear. But you know what? I've been doing this a long time. I really, I guess I bleed blue. I love what goes on each and every night, and you know, I talk to a lot of players. I talk to a lot of fans. So it's kind of one of those things that it's become a love affair with St. Louis. So whenever anybody's got a question, I like to make it simplified. I mean, that's the whole thing. Is the game is not complicated. It's a game that everybody loves to watch here. I mean, we're really lucky in St. Louis now that we've got so many fans that have been following hockey for so long that they know the game. That you can't pull the wool over anybody's eyes. So you never want to lose your credibility when you're trying to break down plays or mistakes are made. I mean, that's what this game is all about. I mean, who makes the least mistakes in a game usually wins. And unfortunately for the Blues this year, they made too many mistakes. But certainly it's fun. I love what I'm doing, and I feel just very lucky to be a part of the Blues for all these years.
Plus, you have to put up with Andy Strickland. I mean, it's incredible what you're subject to. No, I love my man Strick, and of course Jamie Rivers and John Kelly. They do a phenomenal job. The last thing is just, this season has been defined by a lot of things. I think, Bernie, the last thing I wanted to discuss with you is the definition of heart and grit and toughness, and that would be Kelly Chase. And when I think back to this season, that is what I will think about, is Kelly Chase and the fight against cancer. What a human being he is, and I know that he's received a ton of support.
Yeah, he really has, and he deserves that support. Kelly's one of the first guys that's going to go out of his way to help anybody that needs help. So things are going well right now. Thankfully, he's in remission, as he keeps saying. He's still taking some treatment, and I think as long as he continues to progress, I think that's all we want to see. And because everybody's pulling for him, and everybody certainly sends their prayers and to him all the time. But if anybody is a fighter, Tom, you know that no one fights harder than him. And this is a tough battle, but I really believe that if anybody can fight and win this battle, it's going to be Kelly Chase.
There's no question about that. Well said. Bernie, thank you for doing this. Great to have you back on KMOX. Have a great day today at the rink.
Thanks, Tom. Always a pleasure. Hopefully we'll get together and have a cold one of these days.
Yeah, we will do that. There's Bernie Federko, Hall of Famer, with us on KMOX Radio. It's 10:53. Got a couple minutes left before the top of the hour. The Battlehawks are playing today against San Antonio. Love what Anthony Becht and this team are doing. Can't wait to get the dome filled up again with an incredible crowd. I mean, I just thought that was incredible what they did last weekend, putting over 40,000 in there. Maybe the UFL should take notice and start to put more teams in cities that have lost NFL teams. Maybe just a thought. If you're looking to expand the league, that might be a nice formula, because you think that's good. St. Louis, speaking of beer, they'll say, hold my beer, and we'll just keep bringing it, because St. Louis has a way of supporting teams. And when they get attention, when the fans here get attention, they just keep bringing it more and more. 2018 PGA Championship, Tiger Woods says, wow, that was really a great crowd, great gallery. I enjoyed playing in front of them. It was a pleasure to play in front of them. And what did they do? They came back the next day. They were louder. It was even bigger. It was incredible. And it happens over and over again. Downtown St. Louis is hopping today. And let's keep it that way. Let's continue to tell people that you need to get downtown, enjoy yourself. But let's make downtown desirable. Let's make downtown welcoming. Let's make it a place to be. Not only do we want tourists to come to St. Louis, not only do we want people to enjoy themselves from out of town, but we want our people here in town to come downtown and continue to enjoy it. We want people working downtown. We want people living downtown, but those things go hand in hand. They have to be able to feel like it is a desirable place. And by the way, working downtown means athletes too. I mean, you want Cardinals, Blues, City, Battlehawks. You want those players to feel like this is a place they want to come and play. It all works together. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more sports on a Sunday morning after this.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
You would spend a lot more time in your backyard if you had a great outdoor space, like something designed and built by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best. If you've been needing to replace that deck that's been splintering and may even be a danger, you should consider maybe Vecadec vinyl decking. The new colors are Espresso, Hazelnut, Cayenne, and Storm, and Pewter is the new color for 2024. That never needs to be stained, and they look amazing. Chesterfield Fence and Deck can do fences, of course, decks, custom sunrooms, screen rooms, pergolas, patios, retaining walls, windows. They do it all, and they will make your outdoor space the place that everybody wants to get together and celebrate, or maybe just your own little peaceful place all your own. Give them a call and mention me, Debbie Monterey, and they'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. Stop by their beautiful showroom or find them online at chesterfieldfence.com.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. Do you have shoeboxes full of photos? Today only, radio listeners get VIP access to the new Photo Legacy Box. Get your family's photos professionally scanned for as low as 7 cents, which is 76% less than what other brands charge. As the world's largest digitizer, you know you can trust Legacy Box to digitize your entire collection of 4x6 photos. Everything from the embarrassing haircut you had in the 90s to photos of your great-grandma's wedding. Visit legacybox.com/value to get 200 photos scanned starting at just $19.95. Oh, and don't forget, Legacy Box also digitizes.
There I am. All right, I'm in.
VHS or Grandpa's film reels from the 40s
like
digitized too. Take advantage of this exclusive offer on the new Photo Legacy Box today and preserve your past for as low as 7 cents. Go to legacybox.com/value. That's legacybox.com/value.
Background pictures.
The truth is, planning for retirement can be overwhelming and stressful, and things like record high inflation, rising interest rates, the threat of a recession, and the possibility of Social Security disappearing all feel like roadblocks to reaching that retirement finish line. All of these issues can have a major impact on your life savings. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Join the All Financial Group at Cooper's Hawk on April 17th and 18th for a presentation providing you with the tools, insight, and proven strategies to help get you over these retirement roadblocks. Seating is limited, and you must register to attend. Call 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services are available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
Parts. I'm Monica Ricks. Tensions are high right now in the Middle East, but you wouldn't know it today in Tel Aviv. Israelis there say they are trying to get back to normal despite attacks from Iran this weekend. Gira Barak is a waitress there.
Nothing scares me anymore after October 7th. I think going back to normal is something that is really needed for my soul. I think that we need to be out there. We need to show them we're not scared.
Israel says it blocked 99% of drones and missiles fired by Iran. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb has more on reaction.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke with President Biden on the attack, where Mr. Biden praised Israel for its ability to defend itself from such an attack. Although we also understand that the president said to Mr. Netanyahu that the U.S. would not support any unilateral strikes on Iran.
Biden is discussing the attack today with G7 leaders. Meantime, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are pushing to get more aid, not just to Israel, but Ukraine, too. House Intelligence Committee Chair Mike Turner talked about it today on NBC.
We're at a critical point. Russia's beginning to gain ground. Ukraine is beginning to lose the ability to defend itself. And the United States must step up and provide Ukraine the weapons that they need. And I think we're going to see overwhelming support for that in the House this week.
Tomorrow, jury selection gets started in Donald Trump's hush money case in New York. He talked about it during a rally last night in Pennsylvania.
On Monday in New York City, I will be forced to sit fully gagged. I'm not allowed to talk. Can you believe it? They want to take away my constitutional right to talk. I have a crooked judge.
Trump's accused of funneling payments to porn star Stormy Daniels to keep her from talking about their affair during his 2016 presidential campaign. It's the first of 4 criminal cases against Trump. Uncle Sam's knocking.
No more procrastinating. The IRS tax deadline is tomorrow. But Commissioner Danny Werfel says the process to file should be easy.
We have a new program called Direct File. It's a new way for taxpayers to file taxes online.
If you can't get them done by tomorrow, though, you can file an extension. But be prepared to pay a penalty and interest. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
The executor of O.J. Simpson's estate says he plans to fight paying out a $33 million judgment filed by the families of O.J.'s ex-wife and her friend. They claim Simpson never paid it in a wrongful death lawsuit that was filed years ago. O.J. died last week of cancer at 76 years old. Apparently, the entirety of his estate has not been tallied yet. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11:03, we have sun and 79 downtown at the Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story this hour, the full Madison County Board could vote Wednesday to put a non-binding referendum on the ballot this November. It's regarding the idea of breaking away from Cook County and forming a new state.
The measure passed out of the county board's government relations committee after members heard input from those for and against. Some said Chicago area politicians do not share values of downstate residents. This speaker said there shouldn't be a fear of economic retribution for such a public vote.
The state cannot withhold funds because you took an opinion poll.
Others asked why the county board's going this route instead of having supporters gather 8,500 petition signatures to have it placed on the ballot.
Why waste time and energy on an issue destined for failure that no one seems interested in?
Brad Choate, KMOX News.
Staying in Illinois, the National Association of Black Law Enforcement Officers wants answers in a fatal Chicago police shooting.
Chicago police this week released video of a traffic stop where plainclothes officers fired 96 shots in 41 seconds at 26-year-old Dexter Reed. Nobleo Chair Charles Wilson says,
"What I'm seeing in the body cam video that's been released is troubling."
An independent investigation finds that Reed fired first, and former police Lieutenant Wilson says,
"You fire on a cop, you will be shot at."
But the officers allegedly stopped Reed for not wearing a seatbelt, and Wilson wonders why 5 of them surrounded his car, some with guns drawn.
You have to make a determination and answer, why was it that there were nearly 100 rounds fired?
Wilson's group is training officers how to de-escalate situations. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Animal shelters across the region are overloaded with dogs and cats ready to be adopted or fostered. Alicia Vianello is executive director of Gateway Pet Guardians. She says it's easy to get in touch with them.
You can go to our website, gatewaypets.org. You can see all of our information there, from donating, fostering, adopting. You can go to our Facebook page, which is Gateway Pet Guardians.
She says she's also looking for volunteers as well. The Pet Guardians are in East St. Louis. Today, mostly sunny, warm this afternoon, a high of 88. Tomorrow in the mid-80s as well. Tuesday, we could have some strong thunderstorms. Temperatures will cool off. We'll be in the 70s by the middle of the week. Right now, it's 79 in St. Peters, Florissant, and downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win. Billikens win.
Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Don't know if you saw Saturday Night Live last night, SNL, but Caitlin Clark made an appearance, and it was really funny. I can't, if I played it on the air, it's not as funny because you need to see the reaction of Michael Che when she steps on the set, because he has famously taken a couple of shots at women's basketball in their segment, and she just came in and tore him up, roasted him, and wrote some jokes that roasted him as well. She was really good. But I thought the most poignant thing was something that she said at the end. She said, "Thanks to all the great players like Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, the great Dawn Staley, and my basketball hero, Maya Moore." Caitlin Clark said, "These are the women that kicked down the door so I could walk inside. So I want to thank them tonight for laying the foundation." That is class from Caitlin Clark, who will hear all kinds of noise, I think, heading into this WNBA draft. And it is going to be up to her to live up to these expectations. But you know what? She's already done it. I mean, she's already made herself one of the greatest college basketball players of all time. And now she will go to the Indiana Fever with the #1 pick. They'll make that official. And folks here in St. Louis and the surrounding area, it's a very short drive to go see her. So she'll remain in the Midwest, and it's going to be fun to see her develop and to see the women's basketball experience continue to flourish. Now she has opened the door for others. And so has Angel Reese, and so have many players like on South Carolina continue to, but let's make no mistake about it. She kicked down the door herself for this sport, which I think will continue right here in this area. I mean, you talk about opening our eyes to great talent, but also a great sport. Women's basketball is a lot of fun. I know I've been harping on it for years, being able to call the games for St. Louis University on the women's side. I am telling you, if you want a great value, go see the SLU women. They win, and they win championships. They won the A10 championship last year. They won the WNIT this year. Who knows? They continue to get talent. Rebecca Tillett, you may have to try to keep her. I mean, they are really special. And now Peyton Kennedy is coming back to play for them, and she can light it up from the outside and inside. Really good team. So I hope that people do continue to pay attention to the women's game. Myself, I coach girls basketball, 7th grade girls, just finished my 3rd year coaching, and I get it. I mean, I understand how special this game is when you get out there and watch players feel free, and knowing that people have set the stage for girls basketball, women's basketball that these girls growing up don't know any different. They know that you can become a millionaire playing this game as a woman. And I think that that is an incredible thing. And so I watch now this game, women's basketball, take another step. I think that it will. And I think what it needs is resources. It needs money. It needs proper placement on networks. It needs the best broadcasters, the best venues, the best time slots. Continue to feed it. And who knows who the next Caitlin Clark is, who the next Angel Reese is. I don't know. But they're coming, because now you have girls who are playing this game who know that it's out there for them, that the door is open, so to speak, as Caitlin said. We have a lot to do today on Sports on a Sunday Morning. We've already completed 1 hour. I mean, we did a lot last hour, Tyler. We had Ollie Marmol, the Cardinals manager, with us at 10:15. You can listen to it. Go back on the Odyssey app. I thought he broke down everything quite well yesterday. Look, Ollie and the Cardinals have their detractors right now. They've got to show that they can take this thing to the finish line. John Mozeliak will be with us in 20 minutes to discuss that and more. At 10:30, Dan Reardon for his first of 2 visits from the Masters. He will be with us from the final round of the Masters. Sunday at the Masters doesn't get any better than that. He joins us at 11:45. His first visit was at 10:30. We had Hall of Famer Bernie Federko with us. He joined us last hour from Enterprise Center as the Blues are set to take on the Kraken at the top of the hour. They'll play at noon. Yes, the playoffs are out of the picture for them, but trying to build for the 24-25 season, it starts right now. And we'll be joined in just a few minutes by Lutz Pfannenstiel, sporting director for St. Louis City SC. It is a game day in St. Louis for City. They are taking on Austin at 3:45 on Y98 FM. Last time you will have Cardinals, Blues, City, Battlehawks all playing on the same day. Here's the schedule again. At 1:35, Scotty Scheffler and Colin Morikawa will tee off in the final round of the Masters. At 3:10, the first pitch will be thrown by former Cardinal Zach Gallen against the Cardinals for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Just before that, though, at 2 o'clock, the Battlehawks will be playing at San Antonio. And at 3:45 on Y98, it's City against Austin. A lot going on, and we are all over it with a noon face-off for the Blues and the Kraken. You can go back and listen to the Federko interview. And on top of that, we got into the portal with Josh Schertz, the head coach of the Billikens, visited for an hour with Bob Ramsey and me, and you can hear that full interview on KMOX.com as well. We're all over the place. When we come back, Lutz Pfannenstiel joins us from City Park. I'm Tom Ackerman, Sports on a Sunday Morning on KMOX.
Local news and information direct to your smart speaker. Just say, play KMOX.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Bo Matthews for Reinhold Electric. When you need electrical services or repairs, call on Reinhold Electric, whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial. And with spring storms in the Midwest, it can be very dangerous and you have to have your power. Get an inline generator. Reinhold Electric can get that for you and get it hooked up so you'll be ready, because when the power goes out, your power can stay on. Call 314-631-1158. That's 314-631-1158. Online at ReinholdElectric.com. Tell them Bo sent you.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louisans for over 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org. Or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
It's almost time for your furnace to go to sleep and your air conditioner to kick in for a humid spring. Great time to call Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling for a checkup, preventative maintenance, or even system replacement. Comfort Solutions, with 30 years of experience, is a reputable, reliable, and knowledgeable Lennox dealer. Lennox, an outstanding brand for more than a century, but Comfort Solutions can repair any make or model, offering 24-hour service, nights and weekends, and free estimates. It's ComfortSolutionsSTL.com or call 314-968-9900.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best. Onder Law, voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis. Our attorneys will hold truck drivers and owners accountable. We stand up to big trucking companies to get you the compensation you deserve. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law today for a free review. 314 or 618-9-million. That's 314 or 618-9 all zeros.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-514-1020. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-514-1026 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-514-1026 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-514-1026.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. We are sponsored by Gray Bar.
Here with Indiana Vasilev, player of many positions for St. Louis City SC. You can do it all. I mean, now you've got that splint on. You could probably, it's like a glove. You could probably do Roman Berkey's job.
Definitely not as good as he can do his job, especially, I mean, not especially lately. It's pretty much the whole season. He's
ridiculous.
Yeah, he's the best goalkeeper in the league, and it's not even close. And yeah, we're super blessed, super grateful to have him on our team.
Okay, I got to ask, what's the word on the stash? Is there a story?
I know. I mean, right now it's looking a little bit overgrown. So I need to.
You got to twirl it more.
I need to twirl it more, keep it a little bit more manicured a little bit. But I have it because my sister does not like mustaches whatsoever. So maybe it's a grudge stash because she doesn't like it. She says she likes it. And when I was first started to grow it out, she said, Indy, I don't like it at all. And I was like, you know what? Perfect reason to keep a mustache, is just to spite my sister, whom I love so much. But
Indiana Vasilev with our Gen C. It's always fun to see what's coming out of City Park. Joining us is the sporting director of City, Lutz Pfannenstiel. I know he's a big fan of Indy Vasilev. How are you, Lutz?
I'm good. You're talking about Abraham Lincoln Vasilev. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his mustache, to be honest, but I'm a big fan of him as a player.
Yeah, I know you are, and he complimented Roman Berkey as well. City taking on Austin today. Good matchup today, Lutz. Looking forward to it. What do you think? What is your preview of these two going head-to-head at 3:45 at City Park?
Oh, we know the team very well. We just played them not too long ago away in Austin. That's one thing. The next one is we know that they are in good shape, in good form. They just won the last two home games they had, so they actually jumped us in the table as well. Definitely an interesting game. It's for us another one. If you're looking at the table, look at all the results from yesterday. If you get 3 points, we are right back up there in the mix. And a draw, obviously, against results you're playing too often or a loss doesn't really bring us anything. So it's a home game It's a game we want to win. It's a game we have to push, but we have a few injuries to deal with, and that's something we have to look at as well. But definitely a great day of football, beautiful weather. I think another sellout crowd coming, and we can't wait.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's going to be incredible. They're already down there loosening up, if you will. I think that if you look at this game from a technical standpoint against Dallas, like you said, when you're playing in those dangerous areas like you have and you're putting heat on the other team, that's a good thing. And the momentum has to be carried. Eventually, you're going to cash in on those. It's almost like the opposite of last year where you were getting those goals. You were lighting up the scoreboard against opponents.
Last year we had 3 chances and scored 3 goals or 2 goals. This year we have 6 or 7 and only score 1 or none, and that's probably the difference from the playing style, from the stats, from the chances we create. There is not that much difference, but the opposition, they also have a better match plan. We're not anymore the new kids on the block. They know how to deal with us. They're trying to create something which makes us stressed, obviously, especially playing at home, by being deeper, by not giving us a lot of time on the ball and not a lot of spaces. And that's something which is normal in year 2 and in year 3. So we just have to be aware of that, find solutions, create chances. But then again, believe what we do and just finish them.
I'm hearing good vibes about Leuven and about Nielsen, for that matter, that they're feeling good and they are ready to go. How do you see it?
Yeah, after a cracked rib or a fractured rib, I mean, it's always a bit of a pain factor, but I think Joachim deals well with it. Centre backs usually have a bit of a lower pain tolerance than a winger. And for Edu, I think he still needs a little bit. It's not 100% ready, but yeah, definitely just the presence of both of them in the training week definitely lifted up the spirits. There is lots of experience, lots of knowledge of the game, and especially for the younger players, that's two figures where they can learn a lot from.
And what do we know about Yarrow and Blom, for that matter, 2 players that will be out for a little while?
Yeah, they will watch the game today and support us. They both have muscle injuries, something which is normal, which happens. Last year we were super lucky with injuries. There was not too many, apart from Klaus being out for quite some time and Edu on a shorter while. We didn't really have any injuries where we had players missing. This year it's a different story, but that's happening in professional football. I rather have them now than towards the end of the season or towards playoff time. So we just have to deal with that. We have a squad of not just 11 players, but we have 24, 25 players, and then it's always a great reason for the guys who are not always starting to step up to show what they can do and be available and make the coach's selection even difficult.
Klaus had 7 shots, if I recall, against Dallas. It doesn't seem like, well, I mean, I can't get inside his head. I'm sure it can be frustrating, but he seems still the confident Klaus that we know, and he's always looming, isn't he, against the opposition?
Yeah, with Klaus, I think it's a simple case. You just can't let it get too much into your head because you start to doubt yourself. It's about finish that one. I think then the floodgates will open up and he will score his goals. As you said, the most important part is that he gets the chances, that he's in the right spots. I don't believe in good luck or bad luck at all. I think that's something which is overrated. You just have to do what you believe in, and we all believe in Klaus that he will take a chance or two. And I have, for some reason, you can call me tomorrow and tell me if I was right or wrong. For some reason, I have a very good feeling that Klaus will score today.
I like it.
On that one.
I like it. What are these days like for you? It's rare that I get to talk to you on a game day. A lot of your games are on Saturday. Here we are on Sunday, and you play a day game at 3:45. The Masters is going on today, and those players who are on the leaderboard often say that it's not sleeping the night before, it's the wait until they tee off in the afternoon. What is the wait like for you, Lutz, from this morning until this game? Do you get antsy?
I have my routines, which are very interesting. So I actually changed it today a little bit because I had to. But for me, it's important to spend some really interesting times with conversations to figure out certain things. Obviously, to also still talk to the coaches, be in touch with the players. It's definitely a different vibe for a Sunday. Usually a Saturday evening game, you have the whole morning to still watch some Bundesliga games or whatever. You're basically trying to kill the time before a kickoff, being productive, but it's tough. Now it's a different story. You wake up and the game is just around the corner. So a bit of a different schedule. I still do what I usually do, it's all about scoring. It's all about thinking, and we are definitely all have a different kind of preparation today than we normally have on a Saturday evening game.
We really look forward to listening to this. It's going to be on Y98 at 3:45 this afternoon with Joey Zanaboni, Dale Schilly, and Jen Cease on the call, and Lutz Fan and Steel in the house at City Park. Thank you for these visits. Really appreciate it. Good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Great to visit with Lutz, always on KMOX. Lionel Messi scored his 5th goal and added an assist, and Luis Suarez tapped in the winner in the 71st minute. Inter Miami topped Sporting KC 3-2 yesterday, third largest crowd in MLS regular season history, 72,610 at Arrowhead Stadium to see Messi. They weren't disappointed. He was phenomenal. He delivered passes. He created scoring chances. He was all over the place. Diego Gomez also scored for Inter Miami. That was in Kansas City yesterday. Messi will not be coming to St. Louis this year, but St. Louis will be going to Messi. They're going to be going down to Miami. Technically, Fort Lauderdale is where they play, and they'll be going down there a little bit later this season. Champions League quarterfinals are certainly living up to their billing. 18 goals, talking points aplenty. All 4 matchups still very much alive heading into the second legs. Real Madrid drew 3-3 with defending champion Manchester City, and Bayern Munich was held 2-2 at Arsenal. Barcelona won 3-2 at PSG. So there's a lot going on there among those. We have the Masters going on. We have the NBA. Now, I know we don't talk a lot of NBA on this show, but their NBA regular season should be nuts today. The last game of the year, there's still playoff spots up for grabs. Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Denver all have a shot at number 1 in the West, all of them. Every seed from number 2 to number 8 is up for grabs in the Eastern Conference. So today's slate, all 30 teams playing in the NBA. We'll see 9 seeds get decided, 3 first-round playoff matchups determined, 3 play-in matchups will be set as well, all today. Something else we don't talk about enough on sports on a Sunday morning, but I have found it is extremely popular, especially with our producer, Drew Young. Light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira knocked out top-ranked challenger Jamal Hill at 3:14 of the first round in UFC 300. Pereira dropped Hill to the canvas with a straight left hand and then pounded him, and the referee, Herb Dean, stepped in to stop the fight, giving the Brazilian the victory. When we come back, we're going to visit with the president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak of the St. Louis Cardinals. Back after this on KMOX.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you. Pass it on. From PassItOn.com.
As an educator, Mr. Nelson's teachings are still being quoted in schools.
Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
Mr. Nelson taught hope.
Everyone can rise above their circumstances if they are dedicated and passionate.
And giving our best efforts.
It's always impossible until it's done.
Mr. Nelson Mandela's teachings not only united a nation, they inspire us today. Inspiration. Pass it on from PassItOn.com.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
It says here that Gray Bar is a distributor.
Yeah. We support electrical and datacom projects all over the country.
So you can get me the products I need, where and when I need them?
Yeah, thanks to our national logistics network.
Any industry?
Yeah, Construction, industrial plants, schools, hospitals.
So you could say Graybar is much more than a distributor.
Yeah, you could say that. When you need a hand powering, connecting, or maintaining your operations, join the thousands of professionals who rely on Graybar to help keep them up and running. Yeah, Graybar does that.
If you're thinking about doing a little home improvement, especially one that you don't have to do the installation, think about getting a Beam central vacuum system. It's the kind of home upgrade that really checks all the boxes. Because when you compare and evaluate, a Beam system makes so much sense. There's a reason why nearly every high-end home in St. Louis is built with a Beam. A Beam vacuum system is very smart because it adds value to your home. Beam whole house vacuum system starts at just $11.99, including installation. And it's an investment, not just in your home, but in a healthy lifestyle. Every time you vacuum, you'll save time because a Beam is more efficient and 5 times stronger, so you'll clean better in less time. And since you're getting all the deep down dirt and grit, vacuuming with a Beam will keep your rugs and carpets looking brand new for many years to come. So you get value from your Beam system every day. Call Beam of St. Louis today. 314-567-1515 or online at beamstl.com.
Beam's home sale is starting early. Every system for every size home now on sale.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you. Pass it on. From PassItOn.com.
As an educator, Mr. Nelson's teachings are still being quoted in schools.
Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
Mr. Nelson taught hope
Everyone can rise above their circumstances if they are dedicated and passionate.
and giving our best efforts.
It's always impossible until it's done.
Mr. Nelson Mandela's teachings not only united a nation, they inspire us today. Inspiration. Pass it on from PassItOn.com.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you. Pass it on. From PassItOn.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive.
He hits a slammer. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
11:32 on this Masters Sunday. Dan Reardon will be joining us from Augusta in just a bit at 11:45. Right now, we are joined in his normal slot. The Cardinals president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak, is with us. John, good morning, and thanks as always.
Good morning, Tommy. How are you?
I'm doing great. Just been catching up on the Cardinals and night by night following this team, and it has been a season of just kind of, hanging in, wouldn't you say? I mean, this has been a tough schedule. You've been dealt some injuries. Your pitchers are doing that very thing, actually. They are giving you an opportunity to win games. I would start with that your starters are, I think, where you wanted them to be.
No, I definitely think there's, a lot of positives in regard to that. Clearly you want to find ways to win baseball games, and in the end, that's how you're judged. But, I feel like right now we find ourselves in every game, which is encouraging. I mean, there were times last year where you just didn't really feel like you always had that sort of optimism or belief that you were going to have a chance to win. Last night was a tough one. It was a good baseball game, but just on the wrong end of it. And I think from a pitching standpoint, our rotation is going to continue to get better. Obviously, adding Sonny Gray this past week and allowing him to go deeper into a game, I think, is going to be helpful as well. Bullpen's been strong.
So just from a pure pitching side, it's, that's encouraging, and just want to find ways to get our offense really going. And, I think that's going to be something that's going to be important. I think getting Lars back, Bar is going to be helpful. And, I think, speaking with Ollie yesterday, certainly feel like we have the right pieces. Now we just got to let them go and start playing and getting into their normal routines. But, getting the guys on the corners going is certainly going to be helpful as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you have a couple of MVP candidates, which you do, in Goldschmidt and Arenado, not to mention Wilson Contreras, what he can do on any given day. Those are three really good ones. What do you see there? I mean, Goldie had a couple of hits yesterday. Arenado launched one to the moon on Friday, and it looked like he had to feel good there. He got all of that one. What do you see there out of your big boys?
Yeah, I definitely think in Nolan's case, a little bit of pressing in the sense of like he so desperately wants to contribute and at a very high level. So I think there was just some frustration with him. And obviously when he unloaded on that pitch the other night, it was probably a massive sigh of relief. So, getting those guys going is important. I think in Goldie's case, he's just still working on his timing and hopefully gets to a place where he feels comfortable in the box. These guys are almost like scientists. They know exactly, how they feel, when they feel right. And, he's certainly working at trying to get to that level and get back to where he knows he's going to be a middle of the order type hitter. One guy that really stands out too, just from an offensive standpoint, you mentioned catching, but Herrera is really swinging the bat well and taking really good at bats, and so trying to get him into the lineup from time to time too is going to be where you'll see maybe Contreras DH is, I think, going to be a welcoming thing for us too.
Yeah, you want to get them at bats. You want to get them reps. I agree. Herrera looks like a hitter. He certainly does. And these young guys, you throw him in that group with Gorman and Walker and Wynn, and certainly Victor Scott has welcomed himself into that group. You're talking about a young core that's growing with these veterans, specifically looking at Mason Wynn. He has, again, shown that he can hit big league pitching. That must be encouraging to you. Did you see that coming?
Well, I will say, as he was coming up, he would always have that sort of learning curve. In other words, he'd struggle when he first got to a level, and then over time he would surpass the level. And so I really feel like last year, when we were able to bring him up to the big leagues, he was allowed to have some growing pains then. And I think now you're starting to see someone that's getting more and more comfortable in this role. And I really think the key thing for him is don't try to do too much offensively. In other words, don't look for power yet. I mean, just putting the ball in play, being smart, knowing to hit behind runners, that type of thing is something that, will pay big dividends along the way. And so, but you can tell, like, this guy oozes confidence. He's certainly feeling a lot more comfortable in the box than he did a year ago. And that's great to see.
Definitely. You also have, just to mention one more hitter, Alec Burleson hits the ball hard. Now he can hit it into places where a glove isn't. I mean, eventually it was going to turn for him. What do you see out of Burley?
Yeah, I mean, you look at a guy like that, the bat to ball skill's real. Now he needs some good luck. I think, one of the things when you look at a guy that just, tends to hit into bad luck, it can be frustrating. And I think sometimes you see that with him, but you got to, every time you get an opportunity, just take advantage of it and keep doing what you're good at. And that's making hard contact.
Do you feel good defensively about this club? I mean, it looks to me like you have some outfielders who can go catch the ball. Now Jordan Walker's starting to show that ability. Yeah,
it's great to see how he's been playing defensively. I think that just builds confidence when you're able to do that. Clearly, we can put a really strong defensive outfield out there if we want. It's just trying to determine, the push-pull on offense. But, ultimately, I think from a defensive standpoint, we've done a better job this year early on. Still a lot of baseball left, but definitely encouraged of what we're seeing from our defense.
There is. I talked to Ollie the last hour, and I can hear it in his voice. He feels really good about this team. And I asked him about the difference between last year and this year at this time. He said it's not even close. I mean, how do you feel about last year's team? Obviously, it wasn't a great start, but compared to what you have this year.
Yeah, it's just a lot like I think for guys like us that are around it a lot, the vibe's just different. Last year, expectations were high, obviously, and we got off to that disappointing start and really never got back on track. This is a club right now with, I think, sort of a very balanced roster in the sense of you have veterans, young guys, and I feel they are gelling and they're getting along, and there's just a much different vibe downstairs in that clubhouse, and that's great to see. And so I think the veteran guys we brought in helped really sort of like change how we think about our day to day, and that's been, I think a really good thing, and hopefully, it translates into more wins. But ultimately, I do feel like when you're just around this team, it definitely feels different than it did a year ago.
You have not been one to complain about scheduling, so I know you're probably not going to start now, but you're also a big picture guy. I would imagine that you know what's coming, that if you could just get through this schedule, I mean, you're going out west again, you can get home. It looks to me, I look at this schedule, it's going to be a little more favorable for you, and not only geographically, but just to be able to be home.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people always ask me about about the schedule and how brutal it is. But the reality is like we're all playing the same schedule basically. Yeah. And it's just be patient, and in time it's going to be in a better place for us. And there's probably a pretty good argument that if you can get some of these West Coast trips out of the way early, in the end, it may help you. Now, I know we finished the season on the West Coast, so it's it's hard to avoid it. But the reality is, I think if we can get through April with our, just treading water around 500, then I think there's a chance you could see this team start moving in a very upward direction.
Last thing before we go, and I appreciate your time very much. Just injury updates, if you would. I'll bunch them into pitchers and position players. Let's start with Edman, Carlson, and Carpenter. How are we looking there on those three?
Let's start with Carlson and Edman. Both are cleared to begin swinging. So those progressions will start to move forward. And in terms of when we might see them, I think, this is a pretty important week to see how they respond and what steps we can take forward. And then with regard to Carp, everything I'm hearing on him right now is good. He didn't feel like he did something dramatic or that's going to put him out a long time. He was smart. He pulled the plug, and so hopefully he can start swinging the bat some point this week and have a pretty quick return.
You lost Keenan Middleton early in spring training, Drew Rahm at the end of spring training, and Riley O'Brien at the beginning of the year. How are those three bullpen pieces going?
I would say we're taking it slow. Obviously, when we signed Middleton, we really wanted, we were really excited about it in the sense of here's a guy that can pitch 7th, 8th, or 9th, so, these are baby steps to get him back, but hopefully, that happens. O'Brien, when I spoke with, his rehab, Matt, on Friday, he basically just pointed out that he's still feeling a little something, but hopefully by Monday or Tuesday he can take his next steps in his throwing program. So I think those guys are on the right path. Rahm's a little slower, and we're just gonna have to be patient. Shoulders can be tricky, and so we'll see where this goes.
Thank you for this. Appreciate your time as always. Have a great Sunday, and good luck today down in Arizona.
All right, thank you.
John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations, always kind enough to join us with all the information on these Sunday mornings. It's 11:42. When we come back, we go back to Augusta. Dan Reardon, let's get into this leaderboard on this great sports day. All the Cardinals, Blues, Battlehawks, and city information has been laid out there. All the pro teams are playing today. Let's talk Masters with Dan Reardon next.
Broadcasting from the Underline Three Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. KMOX Day at Busch Stadium is Wednesday, May 8th, when the Cardinals host the New York Mets. Purchase a special theme ticket and take home an exclusive KMOX Cardinals bobblehead featuring John Rooney and Ricky Horton. Oh, and fans who purchase a VIP ticket will receive the bobblehead and also have access to an exclusive pregame meet and greet with John and Ricky. KMOX Day tickets are limited and available right now at cardinals.com/theme.
Hi, this is Kent Newbold for Newbold BMW. Do not trust your BMW to some quickie lube place. Bring it to our award-winning service department. That's Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
Schedule your free tree inspection from Gamma Tree Experts now. I'm Tim Gamma. Our certified arborist and horticulturist are ready to meet you in preparation of the coming season. Winter is always hard on a lot of trees here in St. Louis. If you have a tree that you're really concerned about, let us come take a look at it for free. I'm Tim Gamma. Give me a call at 725-6159. That's 314-725-6159. Your trees deserve the best care from Gamma Tree Experts.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Come see our waterfront in Wild Horse Village in the new downtown Chesterfield. You have to see it to believe it, and then you will understand why it is the fastest selling luxury community in all of St. Louis. Our unique modern designs are like nothing St. Louis has seen. Only a handful of home sites remain. Experience the ultimate lifestyle at the waterfront. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today. Hurry before you miss this opportunity.
Our $79 garage door tune-up extended through April. Is your garage door old and whining for attention? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis will make it all better. They'll perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79, extended through April. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Schedule now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at californiapsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
I'm Debbie Monterey, and I see more clearly thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Make your appointment today at 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Always great to be with Dan Reardon, our senior golf editor at KMOX, who has covered the Masters for a number of years. Dan, I want to start with this. Vern Lundquist is calling his final Masters for CBS. What a gentleman, what a talent, and what a staple in these broadcasts. Certainly will be missed, although I know we're going to hear him from time to time, I'm sure, doing something.
Well, and I think the interesting thing about Lundquist is not only does he have signature calls at the Masters, but he has signature calls at the NCAA tournament as well. Vern has had moments in other areas. He has a knack for coming up with exactly the right phrase or statement at a moment, and that's a gift. A lot of guys today will script in advance. If they anticipate, somebody setting a record, they'll script in advance. In fact, as good as Jim Nance is, he is already scripted based on who's going to win this championship, what he's going to say when that moment comes. Lundqvist did that, I think, pretty much spontaneously.
It's well said. I think that Nance is a different type of broadcaster. I think that he has a warmth about him. He's like the perfect host / play-by-play man. He just brings a mood to the entirety of the broadcast. But make no mistake about it, when you go to 16 and Vern Lundquist is watching overhead, it is special. And his moment of calling Jack Nicklaus's putt or Tiger Woods' chip that dropped or whatever it may be, it has been captured. It is incredible. Dan, you have been going to Augusta for a number of years. Let's reset what you said at 10:30 earlier in the show. Conditions ideal, weather warm. Who does this favor? Anybody in this final group?
God, that's a hard question to answer. I would say, we know that the history is that the winner generally comes out of the last four players on the golf course. Out of the last four players, Scotty Scheffler is clearly the best player in the world these days, number one, with a pretty good separation between him and the next players. I guess I would say the thing that works to Scheffler's advantage is he's such a great scrambler. But when he has been the most impressive, and the question I asked him on Friday, I guess it was, he has such great distance control. And so today, with as firm as these greens are, the ability to put the ball in the fairway, and I know people look at the golf course and they think rough. That's rough. We don't call that rough. But that prevents him from spinning the ball. And so I think I said earlier, Scheffler has not hit a lot of fairways over the first 3 days. I think he needs to find fairways. And if he finds fairways, and then we have that distance control come into his play. And even Tiger in his great years, I don't know that I remember a player put so many approach shots so close to the cup as Scotty is able to do when he's on. So that's the person I think will be favored. If he gets it in the fairway, he will be way more dangerous than anybody on the board. By contrast, Morikawa has been a par machine. I mean, he has played brilliant golf. As I said, 8 through 16, he hasn't had a bogey over 4 days. He's had 6 birdies in this stretch. So if he gets to that point in the round, he's not giving anything back. And these guys play to their personality. Not that they know what they've done. There's just a comfort level that takes place with them. And by the way, in Scheffler's case, his nemesis has been 7. He hasn't hit a fairway or a green there over the first 3 days.
Wow. What a fun team teeing off at 125. Max Homa and Ludwig Oberg, 2 players who are chasing down a major and 2 players that I really enjoy watching. Don't you, Dan?
Oh, absolutely. And the amazing thing about Oberg is he's playing in his first major, and people don't realize he's still short of 1 year of being a professional. He was on the European Ryder Cup team without ever having won a tournament or even played as a pro. So, I mean, the potential of this young man, and he's lived up to the billing. It's not that he's won these events, but he's been there and been that way. Homa, of all the strange rounds that people have played this week at Augusta, yesterday his round has to be one of the strangest. He had 17 pars and 1 bogey. I mean, it wasn't a scrambling make pars kind of round. It was hit greens 2-putt, hit greens 2-putt all the way through the round. So he's got something left in him because that's great TV green golf with no scoring. What if he plays that same kind of golf with scoring? But as I said to you, Tom, honestly, I think if I was spending time on the course watching a group, I would spend it with DeChambeau and Schauffele. Schauffele is a guy that never finishes a major well, and this is a perfect scenario for him. And DeChambeau has been a discovery for me the time that I've been here this week, going into the interview room, listening to him, watching him play. He has such a changed individual, such a much more mature, measured individual, knows what's important in the game of golf now, and it's not Bryson DeChambeau that's important in the game of golf. It's playing golf.
That's well said. I noticed it as well. And Bryson, are you kidding me with 18 yesterday? Unbelievable. I mean, he hits that one right off the club. That ball goes into the trees. Like me, and you've seen me do it a million times. I have to get my 5 or my 7 out, and I have to hit a little low shot back into the fairway, get myself in position. Then he holds a 77-yarder. Unreal.
Jars it.
I mean, he must have been
Jars it.
he must have been thinking about that all night. I'm excited for him. Maybe he can make a little run here.
And I'll give you a little item on DeChambeau I found out yesterday. You know, he's playing a new set of irons this week. He has never played these irons before. And the reason he has never played these irons before, his irons are made on a 3D printer. And they needed to pass specifications to be legal. And they were never legal before this week. Talk about technology coming into the game of golf. I said, if Bryson would win here, the shot that he played with a magnificent club, he wouldn't have to donate that club. He could just print another one for him.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, are there any other sleepers? I mean, can Cameron Davis do something? He's only 5 shots back, Dan. Does he have the game to make a run?
He's got the length to make the run. I don't know if he has the background to do it, but I will say the twos can be a factor. You know, it's easy to say, well, if Scotty goes out and shoots even par, you know, they have to come and get him. Well, that's easier said than done. Although I think Scheffler is sort of a dangerous person to have at the top of the leaderboard to try to catch. But I think the twos are in it. You know, I looked to see what was going on, and Tom Kim is 5 under on his round through 12 holes. And the course on the front nine, we don't have an entire group in yet. The course on the front nine is playing a full stroke easier than it played yesterday. So, and the course conditions will firm up and get more difficult in that sense. But the flags are just waving slightly. There's no real wind or anything out here. So I would go no deeper than the twos, but you better be pretty electric at 2 under to win this championship.
I see all those red numbers. I'm looking at it right now. You're absolutely right. Dan, just about a minute to go, but what's next for you? And I might catch you at Valhalla. I'm considering running over there because it's within driving distance for the PGA Championship. It's going to be there next month.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not a big fan of the golf course, but I didn't do the PGA last year because Oak Hill was such a difficult destination. But I am looking forward to Valhalla. You know, and seeing if what we talked about earlier, if Jordan Spieth can sign some. I mean, Rory's got his nemesis here at Augusta. Jordan has it at the PGA. Both of these still young players have sort of a mountain to climb in their mind.
Yeah, it's going to be something. Well, enjoy the round. It's going to be a terrific Sunday at the Masters. Always look forward to this and always look forward to our chats. Thanks for joining us.
Enjoyed it, Tom.
KMOX senior golf editor Dan Reardon. You can hear his reports tomorrow morning on Total Information AM. Always great to have KMOX represented at Augusta, something we have done for decades and we will continue to do. We have reached the end of the show. This show flies by too fast, Tyler. There's a lot going on. Nice job today. Tyler Rosen, our producer, jumping in for Drew Young as Sports on a Sunday Morning, sponsored by Gray Bar, and we come to you from the Stiefel Sports Studio. This was our guest list. This is a good list today. Ollie Marmol, Dan Reardon, Bernie Federko. We played a little bit of Josh Schertz, Lutz Pfannenstiel, John Mozeliak. And then we came back with Dan Reardon. Thanks for joining us. Big day of sports today. Cardinal baseball on KMOX at 3:10.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Ready? What are you ready for?
To call Jerry Kelly Heating and Air.
I thought you already called him.
You have to be kidding me. Jerry Kelly would already be here if I had called.
Isn't that the idea? We need this fixed.
Yeah, but I wasn't ready. They get here too fast.
Jerry Kelly is fast and good. So when you're good and ready, make sure your home is as comfy as can be. Call
JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.